Yeah, my new studio. It's my new scene.
Let's see if it works out today.
So, good day to everyone. How we doing? I'm rocking out with my. I got some major banana action with coconut, chia, and mango, because there was this local farmers store in town, and they were throwing out like a box full of vegetables and fruits, and I just happened to be there and know them, and of course, the rest is history. Here we are. It's beautiful and amazing, and I can't believe what people overlook and what people waste during their travels. But I don't dwell on that. I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity, and I hope that others have the opportunity, or at least animals have the opportunity. You know, throw that stuff into the woods or something, right? So today I thought I would talk about. I think a really important issue is the transition and what occurs when people go along the kind of the conscious and animal aware and health abled processing, because most of us, it really starts out as a, being aware or finding out where food comes from or what something is, and we go, oh my goodness, I didn't see it that way, or I wasn't quite fully noticing it, and then we go vegetarian. Usually, this is the progression, the steps. So first we go vegetarian, and we're still going to go, with eggs and cheese, because we don't realize the extent of the industry and the connection to all life forms. So we, do that for whatever period it is, and that's a positive start. And then we fall into veganism because we become absolutely aware and conscious of exactly what's going on and how our foods are coming to us and what is happening to these innocent, beautiful beings on behalf of making money and profiting from their demise and torturing and suffering, etc. We know that situation. So then we go vegan. And that's usually a hard shift for some people. They really have to pay attention, and they have to go through a very, sometimes difficult transition to get on the vegan train. And once they're there, they're going to be moving and grooving. But what I see a lot of is, the soy proteins, the processed soy products. Then you're going to see a lot of the legumes and the nuts and the seeds and the grains. And I'm not going to speak against these things, because I went through that as well to be where I am as a raw foodist, and it was great. I thought at the time I really enjoyed my, oats soaked in my almond milk with raisins, and at the time somewhat brown rice syrup. That was always a favorite little topping. I totally, love lentils, and I love black beans. And wild rice is awesome and amazing. So there's so many things to say. Indian foods is my favorite cuisine on the planet. We're going to come really close right down into Afghani and Pakistani food. So right there, bam, that's the deal for me. But of course it's cooked, and it is proteins, and it is elements that, though the vegan has chosen a better lifestyle and a much, much significant impact on the planet and their overall health, there's still then another step that we can take. And that other step is the, not the last, because the last, I believe, would be probably, I guess, breatharian, suntarian / breatharian, where we wouldn't be intaking foods at all, but we would be processing on our oxygen intake and our vitamin absorption from the sun. So that's a different level, and to be honest, I'm not an expert in that field. I've seen things, I've read things, but that's still uncharted waters for me. I probably, stepped upon it in my fasting days, but who hasn't when they fasted, because that's what's going on. So when we step into the raw food realm, we're eating unprocessed, unadulterated, uncooked, whole, living, enzyme-rich, vitamin, mineral, absorbing foods, and our bodies aren't going to be used to that fully because we've been living these certain lifestyles forever up to whatever point we go raw vegan. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a shift and a change in the digestive patterns and behavior of the body to acclimate and understand that now it doesn't have to work as difficult, and it doesn't have to put as much emphasis and energy into digestion and trying to absorb the nutrients out of these cooked foods that we used to eat as vegans. The tempeh, the almond cheese. I mean, the list goes on, and believe me, it's crazy. I went down the road. I love the vegan diet. I love the vegan options. The coconut bliss ice cream. I mean, it's all great. But when we're talking about science and we're talking about nutrition and we're talking about cellular rejuvenation and we're talking about health and shifting chemistry in our bodies and getting rid of disease, the vegan diet, to my understanding that I'm living, is not as much of an impact as the raw food diet. So what's going to happen when somebody does this all day? I'm going liquiditarian all day today because I'm feeling it, and I got major fruit, so I blended it all up. But what happens when all you're eating is fruits and vegetables and sprouted beans or nuts? What's going to happen is your body's going to go through a transition, and it's going to start to loosen things, and you're going to start to notice that your bowel movements are going to change in consistency and in formation. You're going to start noticing less impact and much more loose stool, let's say. You're going to start to chip away at these deeper levels as you go. It's not going to happen overnight. It's 1 week, it's 2 weeks, it's a month, it's 2 months. And what you're going to start doing is you're going to start releasing these interior linings and buildups of different contaminants from cooked foods, pharmaceuticals, just our living lifestyles that we all have done being in modern society. Even if we have vaccinations as children, like we've been contaminated, whether we did it on our own and we're drinking and we're smoking, or it was done to us unknowingly because we got sick and we took antibiotics. All of these elements we can't get away from. They are absolutely stored inside of us, and we have to release them. What you're going to start seeing slowly as you go deeper is a release of these elements, because what goes in must come out. There are exceptions. Mercury's a tough one. So anyway, with the raw food diet, you're going to go through transitions where you're questioning what you're doing because you don't feel so well. You feel fatigued. You get headaches. You might have constipation. The coloration of what's coming out of your body alarms you. All of these things are a part of the processing, and I'm just making this video today to tell you I went through that transition, and it wasn't easy. And I'm not going to say it was a ball of fun. It was actually one of the hardest, but the most beneficial things that I ever had to endure to be where I am now. So when you start to get those headaches, when you start to feel fatigued and you're exhausted, and you start to feel pains in your digestive system, and you're having gas, and you're just saying to yourself, I didn't feel this way on the vegan diet. I don't like how this is happening. I don't know about the vegan, raw vegan way. I'm telling you, it's a part of the journey, and if you hold on and you hang in there, you will succeed, and you will love what you become, because the raw food power that is within your hands, given to us from this incredible universe, is the most amazing, beautiful, sensitive, grounding, and clear way and condition of living as a human being ever. That's just a connection correlation, a direct observation of truths. And the truth is, we are meant to live on whole, living, raw foods. So, we can push it off for as long as we want. It just comes to a head where we have to do it anyway because we tip the scales and we're having diseases and we're having complications and digestive problems and the list goes on. We're having heartburn, we're having allergies, we're getting sick in the winter. All these things are absolutely avoidable if we take care of ourselves properly. And that doesn't just mean diet, it also does mean spiritually, and it also does mean physically. So just touching upon this today, we'll get into this in other videos, a little more depth of what exactly is happening in that process. So I just wanted to let you guys know out there, if you're going through this transition and you're getting funky and feeling weird and saying, I don't like this, just hang in there, believe me. It is well worth the outcome because what you're going through is what you have to go through. So for all the hell that you put into yourself, you got to get to heaven. And the only way you're going to get to heaven is through, unfortunately, discomforts. So hang in there. I believe in you. I had great inspirations when I was going through my transitions. I'm still going through things at different times for the deeper levels that I chisel away with. As you know, my other videos, I wasn't even getting rid of plaque or mucus or dairy or who the heck knows what inside of me. I was getting rid of emotions that were inside of me. So go figure. It is so complicated, but then yet so simple. It's so vast, but then yet it's so in your hands and control. And the more you go forward, the more it all makes sense. So hang in there, really. I believe in you. You have any questions, you know the deal. I'll have my email under here. And I do have my raw food coaching. I'll help you along. I'll always, make you feel the best that you can, be, because the possibility is there for the taking. So I definitely always suggest to start with eating fruit. Eat fruit in the morning. Most important rule. After that, we can talk about other things, but that's the first thing that you got to do is eat that fruit in the morning. That will change the chemistry in your body. That will change what's going on in the day. That will change the game. So I hope this information was helpful, because I wish somebody told me sometimes when I began. So drink that fruit juice and be great and love yourself. And there was one other thing. Oh yeah, positive vibrations.